What's going on, guys? Dan here, DD Speed Shop. I'm just editing our videos of the power tour, and hopefully it'll be couple out in the next couple of days. It's a lot of footage to kind of go through and all that. But we've noticed we were on some of the Facebook groups because we were following the tour along. We had an absolute blast. It was honestly the best vacation I think we've ever been on, in my opinion. We're hooked for life. We're going back next year. But some of the comments on the group and some of the posts were a little on the negative side. And I just wanted to make sure, well, I wanted to give our opinion. Anybody who's seen that maybe is kind of turned off from going, I wanted to just address it. So yes, it was hot. Yes, fuel's expensive. And I think that was a bit of a trigger for some people maybe to start. It was a lot of work getting in and out of some of those venues, but there was a pile of cars. And I mean, I kind of think it just was what it was. Now, we haven't ever been before, so maybe that's part of it. But honestly, if this was a rough year by chance, it was fantastic, and I can only imagine how good it'll be going forward. You know, we're in Canada, and going down the States, we noticed that there was definitely some staffing issues, not with the power tour, but everywhere else we went with restaurants and gas stations. Like, it was pretty thin. So maybe that was part of the problem. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to judge. When we checked into some of our hotels, we saw some of the staff. We stayed in some of the same rooms, or hotels, I should say, and they were exhausted from working hard and all that sort of stuff. I mean, out there for, I don't know, obviously they drive event to event, so they were beating us to the event, which is 4 or 5 hours of driving. Then they had to get there, set up, do their thing, take it all down, go to the hotel, sleep for a few hours, grab some sort of burrito, and head on to the next event. So I gotta think they were run ragged. So I appreciate all those guys. I wrote just a few things down when we were reading through that, I don't know, I thought people were maybe overthinking it a little bit. So I mean, we took this fine 57 Chevy. Fine 57 Chevy, it made it. And you know what? People gave us a hard time calling it a trailer queen because we towed it down to the start of Power Tour. And you know, it is what it is. It is a trailer queen. I mean, look how nice it is. I left the window down in the rainstorm, actually. That was embarrassing. But anyways, we drove for 24 or 26 hours to the first stop, and then we'd do the same thing on the way home. And could we done in the car? Yeah, probably, but it was, as you guys know, a bit of a heat wave, and it was nice having cruise control and air conditioning. And honestly, the truck got better mileage towing this thing than this thing did on its own. So, not that I'm trying to give excuses. Don't listen to what people say. Do whatever you want. Do what makes you happy. That's how we want to do it, and that's exactly how we did do it. People were complaining, I saw in there, about the cars. You know, it had to be a hot rod, or it had to be a classic, or age restrictions, all these things. You know, if it's your car and you think it's a hot rod, I say go there. If your 1-year-old Toyota Camry's your hot rod, then take it. Who cares what other people say? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I used to look around like, oh, like I didn't understand import cars or right-hand drive or all those things. And they're not for me, but if someone else is into it, to keep the hobby alive, I'm 100% for it. So I guess maybe just keep that in mind. Drive whatever makes you happy, and screw anyone who says anything other than that. I sucked my hair in there. Plan B cars. People were cranky. So we met a couple on the second day. They had their car stolen in Memphis, rented a car, and carried on the trip. I couldn't imagine. I wouldn't have handled it well. And they were like, yeah, we'll deal with it when we get back. And I'm thinking to myself, good on you guys. So yeah, I don't know what they had for a rental, a Camry or whatever, the Econo box they got. And they wanted to carry on and have a good time. I think that's like the hardest core thing to do. You know, at the end of the day, a car breaks down the side of the road and anything is fixable. I mean, no bones about it. If you can fix it in the garage, you can fix it on the side of the road. But some people's skill level, physical ability, I don't know what it is, being in the heat, financially, maybe they couldn't afford to fix it. If you can't carry on, but you want to rent a car or take your Chevy half-ton and the rest of it, go for it. You know, have a good time. You paid your entry fee. Go do it. That's my thought. Would it be cool if everything was a classic car? Yeah, maybe. The other thing is, so this is a 57 Chevy. It's got a 6-liter LS in it with a turbo 400, new wiring harness, all these different things. People put LED lights in and stuff. At what point does it become a mod? Like, this is ratty. Some of the cars there were probably like 100 grand. Leather interior, air conditioning, cruise control, all the things. It's nicer than the truck I drive every day, for crying out loud, but it's considered a hot rod, so I think it's all kind of in everybody's head. People said the venues, I guess, were kind of far apart. and some of the trips were better on previous years in back roads. You know, we took some back roads, we took some interstate, we got lost, took our own route one day. Putting miles on an old hot rod is just a good time. So, I don't know. We didn't know anywhere. Being from Canada, we're in Manitoba, even though we took the interstate, that was some of the nicest driving we've ever done. Be it interstate, back road, just the gas stations, the rest stops, every part of that section of the country was fantastic. And I think maybe that's another part of it is, maybe if you're used to it, your level's a little higher. We come from not a whole lot out here, so that we were blown away with how nice it was down there. Just going down the interstate and having this canopy of trees and how green it was and all that, it was so nice to drive down that. That just, again, from us, so maybe don't take for granted what you have. Oh, the people. We didn't meet one negative person, I don't think, down there. It was an absolute blast. Everyone was cool. All the YouTubers were cool. All the venue people were cool. The suppliers were cool. Every single person we met was cool. Everybody we met at lunch was cool. People are helping with parts or whatever you had to do. Like, I didn't meet one negative person. Met some people who were a little hot, for sure, and they were having trouble cool down. But that's just kind of the way it goes. And lastly, so I'm a big believer in the harder you have to work for something, or the rougher it is, or whatever it may be, that makes the best memory. So if you've all been on a roller coaster, yeah, it's exciting and all those sort of things, but it's over, you don't think about it again. But for us, we drove 2 straight days, got caught in weather, slept in the truck, then we did power tour for 5 days with a bunch of people we didn't know, made fast friends, met so many cool people. The car started kind of breaking down at the end. Then we had to drive all the way back and all that. That is what you remember. The cruising down the interstate and all that was fine, but it's the struggle and all that is what you're going to remember. So I don't know. I think that's maybe part of it. The harder it is to achieve, the better the memory and the better the story down the road. So maybe you got to look at it where the rougher it is, the better it is sometimes. Anyways, I just wanted to make sure we get our point of view across maybe, and anybody else who's maybe on the fence or reading some of the comments thinking that they don't want to do it or they're scared or whatever, get out there, do it. People will help you. People are friendly. It don't matter what it is. And I want to do a video about showing kind of maybe how to prepare a little bit for the power tour with the car. Don't overthink it. Give it the basics. Get out there. Have a good time. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please be nice in the comments. And look forward to some power tour content for the next couple of days.